Hello and welcome to this 5th episode of the Collab Cast from our studios in Clearwater, Florida. I'm Executive Director Christina Baker, and today we have a super special guest.
Oh, God.
A very, God, I can't say old friend. That
I mean, you
sounds
can.
terrible.
We are in
We
our
are.
40s.
And I just
40s.
learned how to pronounce her name with rolling R's, so I'm going to go for it. Lisa Sampietro. Did I get it?
You could say it better than I can.
Ah!
It's my own last name.
I don't know. I kind of like the St. Pete Trail one.
That's one of my favorites.
I think I might switch to that after today.
You can call me St. Petro all you want.
Okay, cool. All right, so Lisa and I have been friends, let's just say a while, couple decades.
Just a few, yeah.
We met at Kelly's restaurant, the former.
We actually met before that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Where did we meet?
Well, at Chica, but before I started working there.
Okay. Tell me the story.
I have no idea.
Well, you remember that we met there.
Well, I also remember that we partied at one point or another back in high school.
Well, let's move on to the next question.
There you go. See, I'll keep you rolling.
All right, my earliest memory.
20s, early 20s.
Yeah, early 20s for sure, because
Yeah.
my kids were little and you didn't have
No.
a kid.
No.
I was married to Mike.
That's a long time
It's
ago.
a long time ago. Yes, yes. So we became friends, acquaintances, and I don't know, I just feel like we immediately clicked.
Well, we had a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
At the point, 'cause we were in our early 20s, and we had a lot of mutual friends from both of us going to school around here.
Right.
And that's just how we started talking, and then poof, we just became friends.
Poof, it just happened. So I want to talk about kind of your path because I think it's very interesting.
Okay.
Are you nervous?
I am.
I just saw it on your face.
Like, what part of my past are we talking about? Because there's a few that we could talk about.
All right. Well, if I get to something that's off limits, just like wink really.
You know me, ain't nothing off limits.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Well, then let's go for it.
Go for it. What you got?
I don't have anything. All right. So, first off, right now, currently, you are a photographer.
Yes.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I really feel like you've dialed in to your market.
Yes and no. So yes, because of the dogs, but I'm discovering that a lot of people are turning into super fans on my people side.
Yeah.
So I literally just got done revamping my website 3 weeks ago.
So shooting more people?
I'm doing about 50-50 now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm doing
Man,
about
that's
50-50.
phenomenal.
I prefer my dogs because that's a passion of mine because I can do a lot with the rescues and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, you still have to pay, you still have to eat.
Right.
So people kind of,
Yeah.
But now I'm discovering, because I've gotten better at posing, I was always just like, I don't know what to tell you to do.
Yeah.
So I started practicing, and the more, now I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take me back to how you got started, because I know you've been doing this a long time. Sometimes it was on the side, sometimes it was for work, and I mean, you've had some pretty big jobs with like B&H Photo and
Yeah.
Canon. Was it Canon that you were a product photographer, or?
No, so when I worked for Kelby, they originally were sponsored by Nikon, and then
Nikon.
Canon took over
Okay.
Nikon.
Okay.
But I mean, technically, I started when I was like 7.
Okay.
Because my dad was a pro-am and then turned
A pro-am.
pro-am photographer.
Okay.
So when he retired at the young age of 45, he had I have pictures that he started taking when he was like 12 because I came across a lot of his old slides.
Okay.
So he got me into photography, and it's been what I've wanted to do since I was 7. But we're going to skip to the more relevant parts. At 28, I finally got accepted into the art industry, or the Art Institute of San Fran. 3 months later, I found out I was pregnant with Caden. Stayed, gave up my scholarship for that, put it on the back burner, and just figured that it was never meant to be. And then as he got a little bit older, I really was just taking pictures for fun. And believe it or not, the very first person that ever bought one of my prints was Tammy, Kathy's sister-in-law. And so she bought my first print, and she put it up in her living room, and people were coming over, and they loved it. And then I was getting hired for...
What was it?
It was... I still have it, actually. It is a tree. It's a black and white of a tree that's up in Crystal Beach. And it's a dead tree. And that's what got it started. So people started hiring me for, like, sunsets and my abstract way of looking at plants and everything. And then it just kind of... I was like, oh... And then I did it on the side, obviously, which you know, being in and out of the industry, or the restaurant industry. Was still in restaurant industry full-time. Got hired by Ep.5, which I had been knocking at their door for years trying to get in. And the way I got in there was my favorite photographer, like, in the world was Joe McNally. I discovered him when I was 16 years old because Jim Henson had passed. No, I'm sorry, 18. Jim Henson had passed. And he did the front cover of Time. He used to work for Time. He's an ambassador for Nikon for the past, I don't know, 40 years or something. And I fell in love with that. The fact that he could get that much emotion out of a puppet just from a picture, I fell in love with him. Well, fast forward to my 30s. He's coming into town to work for Ep.5, and a buddy of mine that used to work there was like, hey, we need a PA. I was like, yeah, whatever to get my foot in the door. And he wasn't going to tell me. And at the night before, he was like, I was going to surprise you, but I have a feeling that you're going to geek out. So I'm going to tell you now so you can fangirl the night before. It's Joe McNally. And I was like, just shut up. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And he's like, no. I didn't say anything the whole entire time. And one of the other PAs was like, heads up. So he pulled me aside, started teaching me a few things on his camera, which totally changed my workflow. Everything about that I thought I liked. He taught me something totally different, and then he's still he's my little mentor.
Wow.
He's my little guru that I go to when I need, like, uplifting. He'll look at images of mine if I have a question. Be like, what about this? What about that?
Man, what an opportunity.
Yeah.
Woo.
100%. I met a lot of phenomenal photographers when I worked for Kelby.
What do they do? I've seen their books,
Online training.
That's okay.
Before YouTube was big, that's why so many of us got laid off, because YouTube took over, Creative Live or whatever took over.
Okay.
So
are they in business?
They're still in Altamar. Yeah, okay. They're still in business.
Do you have contact with them? Or?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah. I still talk with a bunch of them. We're still friends. But, and that's one of the things that now, like, getting full-time. So I technically didn't go full-time until, like, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of part-time, there was a lot of side hustle and things, and kind of honing your skills that way.
And it was also getting the nerve to finally turn, like, say, okay, I can do this.
Right.
In all honesty, I could have done it forever ago had I...
I know. I tried to convince you of that.
Yeah, shut up. I'm a thick-headed Italian. What do you want?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit there.
Come on.
All right, so where does B&H come in during the Kelby days? Okay.
B&H was with Kelby, so they're the ones we did. Oh my God, you want to talk about
boring?
You want to talk about boring videos?
Yeah.
Love you, B&H. Wonderful. I buy all my equipment from them, but sitting behind and doing take after take of product, talking about it. One microphone cord or one mic and doing
so
product
that was
shots.
Video?
Oh my God. You have no idea. Yeah, because if you go on their site, it's all like B footage. And so it's like someone pretending to take the microphone. Here's what I loved. We would take it to the park and pretend like we were using something, right? A camera bag. I'm like, who the fuck has a mic? Like this kind of mic.
Right. In
the park.
It seems real.
Oh my God! But we had video of us just like walking down. Yeah, that was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very grateful for my time at Ep.5. But when they told us that we were being laid off, and they gave us a month notice, I was like,
thank God.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So after that, what happened?
Went back to the bar.
Yeah.
Went back to the bar.
Yeah.
Literally dropped right back into hospitality because I was still too freaking scared.
And then at some point, you worked for an attorney. When was that?
7 years I did it, I think. 18 to 20, no.
Okay.
18
So
to early 20s.
that was prior to all this.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I moved up real quick. I was started as a hostess.
Yeah.
I started as a freaking hostess, as a receptionist, and then they just on hands training because they wanted legal aid.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Believe it or not, I'm a quick learner in some things.
I believe that.
Don't believe that.
100%. I believe
Don't.
that. Okay, so after Kelby, back to hospitality,
Yep.
but still kind of dabbling. And then go ahead.
I didn't. I started. Let's be honest, because it was Kelby, we had huge racks, cameras, bodies, lenses.
Right.
I mean, I literally signed out a 600 mil just because I could. What in the hell was I going to shoot with that?
Right.
A bird at Caladisi from the marina downtown. But I had to use it.
Yeah.
I used it on Kathy's daughter when she was in marching band.
What is that?
A 600 millimeter.
Like the lens? So it's like 3 feet long or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
Like comes with its own tripod.
Yeah.
So like a 400 and a 600 is what you see on the sidelines of football games.
Okay.
Basketball games.
Gotcha.
All that.
So was it cool?
It was intimidating.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I felt extremely comfortable with it.
All right. Have you used one since?
No.
Way too intimidating.
No, I just don't have any reason. I mean,
I know, that's pretty
like, you realize how
intense.
far away somebody has to be
Yeah.
to shoot that?
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, totally could never be a sports photographer.
Okay. All right.
Because I watch the game too much.
That's
I
true.
would be working.
You would miss the shot.
I'm a diehard, like, sports freak. I'd be like, oh, shit, no, I didn't get anything
Oops,
this week, sorry.
Sorry.
But we won.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can tell you all about the game. Oh, man. All right. So when did you then make that decision, that leap in the net will appear moment?
Honestly?
Oh, God.
No, Larry.
Okay. Nice.
It was Larry.
And so enter your fiance.
Y'all.
Soon to be.
Partially because him and Caden. In
Yeah.
all honesty, it was a 50-50 split because I know that kids support their parents, but Caden, like, I'm going to start crying.
Okay.
Like,
do
he
it.
was 100%. Why are you not doing this? Why
Yeah.
are you preach to me all the time, follow your passion. I don't give a shit what it is, just do it. Why are you preaching what you're not practicing?
Yeah.
And then in comes Larry and watching me come home and cry from the bar because I absolutely hated my job.
Yeah.
In the worst way. Not the boys, by any means, just
Right.
the job. I was so tired of... I had no creative outlet, period, at that point. And every time I picked up the camera, I was on fire, and I was happy, and I was lolling through the streets.
Yeah.
And finally, Larry was like, done. Just call it. So I went down to 1 day a month. And then guess what happens? COVID.
Oh,
That's
right.
What, yeah. So it was like 2 years ago that I went full-time. I went full-time 3 years ago, but I was still working full-time at the bar and full-time photography. So every night, every weekend, I was still shooting.
Yeah.
And then, well, a lot of time. And then I finally called it in October, November. I was like, in October, I think it was. I was like, I'm going to take 1 day a week just because I didn't want to screw them.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
score! As of yesterday is when they shut us down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so COVID came
So
in.
what did you do? How did you
During COVID?
eat? Yeah. Larry?
A fiance.
Yeah.
But also a lot of people that I was dear friends with, they were like, hey, this is perfect timing. Everybody had so much, and I don't mean this in the way that's going to sound because we all went through a hardship, but a lot of people in certain financial stability issues,
Yeah.
they had expendable money because they weren't going out to eat. They weren't going out to drink. They weren't taking trips. So they had all this money. They're like, all our family is together. Can you do a photo shoot? Absolutely.
Oh, man.
And the better
that's
part is,
awesome.
if I'm 6 feet or closer to you, it's going to be a really shitty photography session. So we don't even have to be close to each other.
So you kept rolling.
I kept rolling. It definitely dwindled off in the middle. But then I was going back through, and I was like, fine. With all the skill that I have now, I went back through and found old shoots that I did 4 and 5, 6 years ago and started editing them. And the way that I edit now, knowing how my style is,
Yeah.
and just kept going on Facebook, kept going on Instagram.
Speaking of your style,
Yes.
because obviously I've watched
I'm a
you.
lunatic.
No, I've watched you evolve over a long
Let me tell you something.
time.
If we could redo your wedding, I would so redo your wedding.
I like our wedding pictures, but thank you. But yeah, I think you've definitely got your style locked in. Do you feel that way, or do you feel like it's going to be a constant evolution?
I think it's constant.
Okay.
I think in this kind of work, it's constantly evolving because if you're constantly learning, right? I mean, if I stopped learning, I'd be a really shitty photographer because I'd be like, nope, too set my ways. No, I want to keep learning, and I want to learn different editing styles, and I want to keep moving up in my career. I want to keep pushing my new limit to see where I can go. Because who likes somebody that sits stagnant? So yes, I love my style now,
Yeah.
and I will continue to build on top of it, I think.
Yeah.
Is essentially what's
Yeah,
going to
no,
happen.
I think that's awesome. I really like the stuff that you're putting out now. I think it is so good.
Thank you.
So
That means a lot to
good.
me, especially coming from an RT. Well, because you're very artistic. You're
Yeah.
extremely artistic. So when another artistic person tells you that,
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Schmo, that's,
Stuff's so good.
yeah, well,
It
but
is.
I'm not creative. And thank you. I appreciate that. But when another artistic individual is like, yo, they know the time that goes into it. They see that you're honing your craft, even with you and playing drums.
Yeah.
Like if somebody comes up and is like, yo, girl.
Yeah, it definitely means more. I get that for sure.
Yeah. And I'm finally listening to people like you that are like,
I appreciate that.
because I'm really good at listening.
So being a woman, entrepreneur, artist, what keeps you motivated?
My kid. Caden,
Yeah.
for sure. Yep.
So he's, how old is he?
16.
16? He's a junior?
A sophomore because he's got that weird September birthday.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yes, I know. We share a birthday.
Considering that you have the same birthday, duh. Yeah, so he's got that weird.
Yeah.
That and, in all honesty, I want to be an ambassador of Nikon one day. I want to get that good.
Ooh, that is a good goal.
That's my ultimate goal, is to become a...
How do you get there?
I'm still working. I have no fucking idea. I honestly keep doing my craft. I'll tell you, the one thing that I'm not good at is putting myself out there, right? So I see these people that their work's phenomenal, 10 times better than mine. But what steps did you take? Or I see that people were published. I'm like, that's a great shot. I would have done it this way. How do you get to that? How do you get... So I'm learning the ropes. I am learning in Florida. It sucks. It sucks.
Why?
In the photography world.
Why?
It is such a backstabbing. I found my community now, but up until recently, we're a dime a dozen. It's a beautiful state. Everybody wants to come to Florida. We're a dime a dozen. I mean, musicians, but with music, just like we have our style, you have your music. But
Right.
It's a dime a dozen. How I'm gonna get to be an ambassador, I'm not sure, but I'm getting there. That is my ultimate goal.
That's a really good goal.
It's a big one too.
It is a big one.
Like it doesn't
I
get
love
any
big goals.
It doesn't get any bigger than
Big
that.
goals are my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Because I mean, why not? Because even if I only make it halfway there,
What's halfway?
I'm not sure. But you know what?
Halfway there is a
Published?
Polaroid ambassador.
You know they're back.
I know. That's why I brought it out.
I'm stoked. I have them for my business.
Yeah.
It's one
They're
of the ways
pretty
that you
cool.
can get your pictures.
Yeah.
That, and you know what else is coming back?
What?
Little viewfinders.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like when you went to
In
like
there.
no. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the ones that were keychains.
Oh, the little ones.
Yeah, like when we were back in high school.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so halfway there. It's good. I like the big goal, though. I think you should go for it. Let's start lobbying for that.
Okay.
I'm going to start.
When you figure out how, let me
Why Nikon and not Canon?
Because my dad was always.
Okay.
I have my dad's old cameras.
So you're a Nikon girl.
I'm a Nikon girl.
All right.
And Sony has phenomenal. Their new mirrorlesses are amazing.
I've seen those advertised recently.
They're gorgeous.
Have you shot with them?
I have, and I'll be honest, that is where old school girl kicks in because it is going from Nikon, and I've shot with Canon. Canon is gorgeous. Like, all of them are gorgeous. Fuji probably has the best out right now. You can't teach me new tricks. I know the ins and outs of my Nikon.
Right.
Like, I can jump to the brand new mirrorless from 20 years ago when digital first started, and the menu is exactly the same.
That's so
I'm
interesting.
fast around the camera.
Gotcha.
I mean, they might change a button here and there,
Yeah.
but I know exactly what I need to do when.
Right.
So,
All right. So the name of your business is
a Dorky Daisy Photography.
Dorky Daisy Photography.
My nickname since I was a kid.
Dorky Daisy.
Daisies were always my favorite flower. Everybody, well, it started with Tigger. Believe
Yeah.
it or not.
Right.
Obnoxious, talks too much,
Yeah.
annoys people.
It's totally you.
Score! And once I started growing, I was like, that's why I have that stupid Tigger
Right.
tattoo on me. But then when I was like, oh my God, stop calling me that. Somebody called me a dork and Daisy all in the same sentence, and
Perfect.
it just stuck.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Are you doing the boudoir shots anymore, or?
I've been hit up recently for a
Yeah.
lot of them, but I feel like I'm such a happy person,
Yeah.
and my photography tends to come across as extremely happy. Like, I mean, obviously, look at my dog smiling.
Yeah.
I'm not a very serious person. So I'm discovering, although I know how to pose you very well,
Right.
you're laughing and not looking sultry. So I was like,
Gotcha. Gonna push pause on that one.
if somebody wants, like, a giggle fest, come on. I'll totally do a boudoir session with you.
I love it.
It's not,
Okay.
I'm not right for it.
I got you.
I'm too
But I'm
bubbly.
really proud of you for trying it. Like, that's everything. When we were talking about doing these podcasts, we were saying, what are our goals? What's our mission? All of that. And we just kind of filtered it down to, I just really want to inspire.
Oh, that's perfect for you.
So that, to me, even though, it didn't work out, you figured it out, like, nope, not for me, but you tried it.
But
How do you know unless you try?
Exactly. Well, leading back to your last question, like, am I good at being stagnant? No, I'm going to try new things.
Right.
Not all of them are going to work.
Yeah.
Some might stick to the wall, some might
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I know it takes a lot for you to
Yeah.
put yourself out there and try new things. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank
It's
you.
inspiring. It is. It is.
Aw.
It's a big deal. And I think you do a great job on social media.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't.
there's always fresh content out there. It's never
Every
feels...
14 days that I happen to be like, oh, I guess I should post again.
No, you do it more than that. You got to give yourself a little more
Once a
credit.
week.
Okay, well, but it's good.
It's supposed to be every day.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who says they? They say.
The media people.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. How do people contact you?
Facebook is just Dorky Daisy Photography.
Dorky Daisy Photography.
Yep. And then it's the same on all platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, website, all exactly the same.
Okay. DorkyDaisyPhotography.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And what platform are you most active on?
Facebook and Instagram because
They're linked.
they're linked.
I love that, don't you? Yeah.
It helps.
And do you want to give a phone number or no?
Yeah. It's 727-503-4459.
One more time.
727-503-4459. Stop smiling at me. You're making me laugh.
I'm sorry. We said we weren't going to giggle. I think we've done pretty well throughout this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure this one's going to go into, like, garbage.
No, it's not. Anything else that I may have missed that you wanted to talk about? Like Mad Dog 2020 or anything like
Some
that?
OE?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, that's it?
No.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We greatly appreciate it. I feel like we're kind of getting the hang of this on podcast number 5, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.